Hi everyone, it's Emmett from Pi My Life Up. In this video, we will be showing you how you can run Moonlight on your Steam Deck. Moonlight is a really neat client software that allows you to stream games in high definition with low latency from your local machine. While the Steam Deck is a very capable handheld gaming machine, it isn't quite capable enough to run all video games. Additionally, there are some games that will just refuse to run on the Linux operating system that the Steam Deck uses. This is usually caused by overzealous anti-cheat systems. Luckily, if you have a decent enough gaming machine, streaming games to your Steam Deck is a very simple process. And with tools like Sunshine and Moonlight, you can even do this with very low latency. Now, to start installing Moonlight onto your Steam Deck, you will need to change to desktop mode. You can do this by pressing the Steam button on your Steam Deck, going down to the power option, and then selecting the switch to desktop option. Once you have switched to the desktop, you'll want to open the Discover Software Center app. This app can be opened by clicking the shopping bag icon in the taskbar. The Discover app allows you to easily install additional software to your Steam Deck that isn't available through the Steam store. With the app open, click the search option. Now select the search box at the top of the page. You can open the on-screen keyboard by pressing the X button on your Steam Deck. Now use this keyboard to type in Moonlight. Once you have typed this in, press R2 on your Steam Deck to search for the Moonlight app. You can press the B button on your Steam Deck to get rid of the on-screen keyboard. You should now see Moonlight listed here. Double tap it to open its Discover page. On this page, you'll want to click the Install button in the top right hand corner of the window. The installation of Moonlight may take a couple of minutes, but once you see Launch in the top right hand corner, you can now open the Steam desktop client by double clicking the Steam icon on your desktop. With the Steam client now open, click Add a Game in the bottom hand corner and then click the Add a Non-Steam Game button. This will list all the applications that have been installed to your Steam Deck but not added to your Steam Deck library. Scroll down until you see the Moonlight application and then tick the checkbox next to it. Once selected, click the Add Selected Programs button. By adding the application to your library, you'll be able to access it while you're within Steam Deck's gaming mode. Our next step is to pair your new Moonlight client with a Sunshine server. For this guide, we are assuming that you have already installed the Sunshine streaming server to the PC where you plan on streaming your games from. To pair Moonlight, switch to the Library tab and then use the search box and type in Moonlight. You should now see Moonlight listed under your games. Click it and then click the play button. If everything has worked properly, you should now have Moonlight open on your Steam Deck. By default, it will automatically search your local network for any compatible host. For our example, it automatically found our PC called Emmett-PC. However, you can add a PC using its IP address by clicking the plus icon in the top right corner of Moonlight. However, you will need to know the IP address of the machine you want to connect to. For this example, we will just pair the PC that was automatically detected by Moonlight by double clicking it. This will pop up with a PIN code that you will need to use to connect your Steam Deck Moonlight client to your host PC. At this point, you will need to switch over to the Sunshine web interface that is running on your host PC. With Sunshine now open, switch to the PIN menu using the top menu bar. On this screen, type in the PIN displayed on your Steam Deck, give it a name, and then click the Send button. Looking back at your Steam Deck, you should see the lock symbol on your PC has now disappeared. Double tap it to connect. At the moment, we only have the default two applications that come configured with Sunshine, which is the desktop and Steam. We'll show you how to add a new application shortly, but for now we can return to gaming mode by clicking Return to Gaming Mode on the desktop. While our Steam Deck reboots to gaming mode, let's quickly show you how to add an application within the Sunshine server. Start by using the top menu bar to switch to the application screen. On this screen you can see that we only have the 2 default applications. To add a new one, we simply need to click the Add New button. Start off this process by giving this application a name. For this example, we will be adding the game X-Zodiac so that we can stream it from our PC to our Steam Deck. Our next step is to set the command that will launch X-Zodiac on our PC. For this, you'll typically want to enter the full path to the game that you want to run through Moonlight. In our example, our path is to the X-Zodiac game that is within our Steam Apps folder on our host PC. For safe measure, you will also want to set the working directory. For most games, this is just the directory where the executable you just added is. For our example, we would use the entire path up until the exzodiac.exe part of the path. Our next step is to add a game cover so it looks nice within the Moonlight interface. Scroll down until you see the Find Cover button and click it. As long as the game you're adding is within the IGDB database, you'll be able to just click the cover that pops up. Once you're all done, just click the Save button at the bottom of the page. We should now see the 2 default apps as well as the X-Zodiac game we just added. This will now show up the next time we launch Moonlight on our Steam Deck. Now that your Steam Deck is back in gaming mode, open up the Steam menu by clicking the Steam button on your Steam Deck. From the options listed here, you'll want to select the one labelled Library. Now that you're in your game library, you'll want to switch to the non-Steam category. You can do this by pressing R1 on your Steam Deck until non-Steam is highlighted. You'll now see a list of applications and games that you have added to your Steam library as non-Steam games. Now find and open the application labelled Moonlight. Now that you're on the Steam page for Moonlight, click the Play button. You now have Moonlight up and running within the Steam Deck's gaming mode. Begin connecting to your host PC by double clicking it. In our case, we would double click Emmet PC. You can also use the controls on your Steam Deck to navigate this menu, meaning you can also press A to select a highlighted item. If you're finding the mouse to be unresponsive, hold down the Steam button and use the right trackpad. You should now see a list of applications that you have added to the Sunshine server running on your host PC. If you find that the app you have added is missing, you'll want to exit out of the Moonlight client and reopen it. For this example, we will stream the X-Zodiac game to our Steam Deck right now. At this point, hopefully you have also managed to get Moonlight successfully installed onto your Steam Deck and have now begun streaming your favourite games to your deck. As you can see from this footage, Moonlight maintains a fairly high quality stream while minimising the amount of latency. Of course, like any game streaming, this isn't a perfect system. Things like your Ethernet connection or Wi-Fi connection can cause issues. In our case, we felt the games that we tried to be extremely responsive while maintaining a look where we barely noticed that was being streamed. Hopefully, you have found this guide to be helpful. If you have, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Until next time, have a good one.